Back in 2022, we accepted Smart Air sending us an SA600 to review. And whilst we did review the device, because we had to send it back, it was tricky to see how it performed long term. Now, Smart Air has released an updated version of the SA600 that has 5 speeds. So we bought this device with our own money to produce an updated review. I bought the Smart Air SA600 from the UK Smart Air website and paid £222. So what I really like about the SA600, the first one is it has great air cleaning performance even when you run it on lower fan speeds. The second one, it just looks good, it has a great design. Third, you can use any smart plug brand with it and it will switch back on if the power goes off. And it was also really efficient, especially when running at its lower fan speeds. Okay, what I don't like about the SA600. The first one is it has higher costs of filters. There's 2 sets of filters you need to get, and this is a lot higher, especially compared to more popular brand. Second, it has no smart features like auto mode or app support. And third, it has a higher initial cost, especially compared to devices from Levoit or Winx. Right, let's jump into the full review. Now, long-term viewers will know that the first place I like to check when doing a review is the Energy Star website to see if a KDAR test exists. And I was pleased to see that the Smart Air SA600 does have a KDAR report on the Energy Star website. It has a dust KDAR of 287 CFM, which is higher than the Levoit Vital 200S with its 263 CFM and less than the Honeywell HP 300, which has a CFM of 320. Now, comparing our test results with those devices, we would expect the Smart Air SA600 to clean our test room of PM1 in around 23 to 20 minutes. So let's look at the design of the SA600. Weight-wise, it's a little heavier, 15.43 pounds or 7 kilos versus the Levoit Vital 200S that weighs 13.2 pounds. But it is fairly similar in dimensions and footprint. So unlike the Levoit Vital 200S, the Smart Air SA600 pulls air from both sides of the device, and it has 2 sets of filters through its dual inlets. Now, this does mean you have 2 pre-filters to keep clean, but you also get a larger surface area than just one single filter. Design-wise, I like the simplicity. It's design and matte plastic versus the shiny plastic that we see with so many other popular devices on the market. So it's far less prone to get smudges and fingerprints when kids or even adults touch it. Now, like with the other Smart Air devices, controls are kept super simple with just 4 buttons for fan speed, child lock, filter reset, and on and off. There is a light next to the buttons that shows you what speed it's set to, and this is also kept really simple, with speeds over 3 showing 2 lights. So one thing I really liked about the SA600 was that the lights on the device, they go off automatically, so you don't have to do this manually, which is great when you want to use the device in a bedroom, and it also means you can run the device at any fan speed with no lights, if you want to, which is challenging with many other devices on the market, especially something like Winx, where it automatically goes into sleep mode. So like the Smart Air Blast Mini, the lack of smart features on the SA600 mean that you can use this device with any type of smart plug. And if there's a power cut in your area, the air purifier will come back on automatically, whilst most devices that we look at need to be manually switched on. As expected, there's no app support or any type of auto mode with this device, but it does have holes so you can mount it on the wall. So let's have a look at the filters. Now, Smart Air says this has H13 filters and activated carbon, and the SA600 has 2 sets on each side of the device. It also includes a pre-filter on each side, which is removable, so it's easier to keep this clean as you don't need to remove the entire filter to clean it, like we see with cylindrical devices from Levoit and other brands. Now, like other Smart Air devices, there is no ionizer on this device, so it's incapable of generating ozone byproducts. Okay, let's jump into the exciting part and test how well the Smart Air SA600 did in our test room. We tested the SA600 in the same 728 cubic feet test room where we've tested over 80 different air purifiers since 2020. The Smart Air SA600 achieved PM10 according to our Zen sensor in 24 minutes. And this performance matched up to what we would expect based on the reported CADR from the Energy Star website. So looking at the table, you can see that it did have a faster test result than many of the other HEPA retail devices we have benchmarked, but then it is also quite a bit higher in initial price. I also decided to test the Smart Air SA600 at full speed without the carbon filters. It was actually 4 minutes quicker at removing all PM1 from our test room. Whilst air cleaning performance is the most important thing to look for, if a device is so loud, you're just not going to use it, which is why we test all of our air purifiers running at each fan speed from 3 feet away. Now the Smart Air SA600 has 5 speeds, so we made sure to see how much sound was generated at each of these modes. You need to be aware that our background noise is very similar to what we got at speed 1, so the actual result is likely to be much quieter if we had a silent room. But please have a listen for yourself. When compared to the other devices with similar levels of performance, it was a little quieter than many of the HEPA retail devices we have looked at, but it was louder than the PC fan-powered devices. The benefit of a larger CADR air purifier is that you can use them at a lower fan speed. So we made sure to test this air purifier at removing PM1 from both speed 3, which is 41.5 decibels, and speed 4, which was 46.1 decibels. At speed 3 at 41.5 decibels, it took 46 minutes to achieve PM10. And at speed 4 at 46.1 decibels, it took 36 minutes to achieve PM10. When accounting for lower sound levels, the PC fan-powered devices are able to pull away from the other HEPA retail devices we've looked at. The Smart Air SA600 has a similar performance to the Levoit Vital 200S and the Philips 3000i when accounting for lower sound levels. As part of our reviews, we also examine how much energy is pulled at each of the fan speeds. Here are the results that we found. If you had to leave this device running 24/7 at full speed, it would add an additional $56.55 in energy costs for a year. But when running on speed 4, it will be only $13.56, and at speed 3, only $7.46. We can also compare those running costs with other devices running at lower fan speeds. According to Smart Air, they say you need to replace the filters every 8 months for those in the US and 12 months for those in the UK. We will take the 8-month figure for our calculation of costs. The recommended OEM filters are $57.99 and the carbon filters are $48.99, so we have a total of $106.98, and for 8 months this will mean a yearly cost of $160.47. Now there are generic filters available which will bring the full set down to around $70 per year, but when looking at generic filters, performance can vary depending on the amount of carbon and the type of particular filter they use. Now we can compare these costs with energy costs to compare total yearly running costs for the Smart Air SA600 with other devices we have reviewed. Whilst the Smart Air SA600 does have a higher running cost per year, this is due to the recommendations that the filters need to be replaced every 8 months, whilst most competitors say 12 months for similar sized filters. Assuming you could get 12 months of filter life out of this device, the yearly price would come down to $163.64, which is more in line with other HEPA retail devices we've looked at, although it is still higher than what we see from units from Winx, Levoit and Blue Air. Right, should you get the SA600? If you're looking for an air purifier with smart functionality, then you'll want to take a pass on this device. You don't get any app support, auto mode or even a timer. But what you do get is a good looking device that can perform well even when compared to the best HEPA retail devices on the market when running at lower fan speeds. The lack of smart functionality allows for some benefits, such as being able to use with smart plugs and automatically coming back on if there's a power cut, which could be great in situations like a school. Now, the 2 inlets mean that 4 set of filters need replacing, so that does cost more than the more popular brands out there. But I appreciate the filters are unbonded, so you could use the device without the carbon if you wished. I know plenty of people want an air purifier that doesn't have any smart functionality. And for those people, the Smart Air SA600 has to be at the top of their list for consideration. I really like that it shuts off the lights automatically regardless of fan speed, which makes it a great device for the bedroom or classroom, so you can just get on with it cleaning the air without making a fuss. You don't get the most bang for your buck for sheer KDAR, but I do think this is a great alternative to those already looking at a device from Winx or Levoit. As always, if you want to buy the device and want to help support the channel, then use the affiliate links in the description, as this really helps us to fund more reviews and tests in future. Let me know in the comments, as always, if you have any questions about the SA600, and I will see you all in the next video.